Well, good afternoon, viewers, and here we are at Noel's Garden Tractors and Firewood. And today we're going to look at our little step here and see if we can start fixing it up. It's got some bad boards on it, and bad this, and bad that, and bad the other thing. And so I don't know what I'm doing. Carpentry is going to start up again today. And this could go on for days, this video, but it'll only be a short video for you guys. But it is probably about 30 degrees Celsius at the moment in the sunshine, and it's just not going to be a good day to be ripping and tearing doing this on the stairs. But we'll do a little bit here and see what goes on, and that'll give me something to think about on how to fix things as I go along also, maybe. So stay tuned and I'll get back to you. So I've got my trusty Massey Ferguson tractor out here hooked up to my trailer, and I've got a few tools in the trailer. And we're going to do a little bit here today. I don't know how far I'm going to go here. Like I say, it's hot. 30 degrees Celsius about. And anyway, even if I could get, there's one board that's really the worst one. I can show you here. This fella right here, fairly bad in there. So I kind of expect that'll break through someday, and somebody will be walking on it, and down they'll go. All right, so there we go. My wife brought me home a nice hot coffee, so I'm going to sit here and drink that and think about the steps, and maybe think about doing this project in September when it's cooler. No, I'd like to at least get that one board up off the top there, because it's at that point where somebody come along and stepped on that, they'd go right through, and then that's quite a drop to the ground. Knee and shins and calf and all that stuff would be a scrape on the way down. So we'll see what we can do here. I'll get back to you in a second. All right, I'm going to see if I can do one here anyway and see what happens. There now. It's hard to know whether it would have broke through or not, but I think it probably would have. Anyway, there's some good kindling for me. Nothing goes to waste. And we save all the nails. That one there needs a little bit of straightening. So that's not hard to do. Now I'm going to sit down into the sun again and have myself some coffee here. Alright, there's the second board up. It's not in really that bad a shape, but might reuse it and might not. Anyway, this is bad over here. Not bad there, so I'm going to make a piece to kind of screw onto the side here. That's what I'm trying to do. I'll make something to come out and same thing as that, and I'll just screw it to that one. These two here, this one's not so bad, but this one's got a little bit of stuff on it too. But anyway, we'll give that a cleaning up in behind there. And we'll probably give that a coat of wood preservative too, maybe. Alright, I'll get back to you. We're moving right along here like a herd of girls on, I don't know what I'm doing, carpentry. Anyway, look at that. I got something marked there. Look. Marked and measured, and we even used fancy carpentry tools. And I got a fancy saw. And I got her all preserved in there to about where I want. So we like to cut this piece off here and preserve that. And then have to find myself some screws. I got screws here somewhere. Alright, I'll get back to you. Well, water's running pretty good here. So I missed my line just by a little tiny bit. Anyway. Put a little bit of preservative on this, on the inside part, and then I'll get back to you. Alright, so now we got the piece in there, so now I gotta go find some wood to put on top. Yes, sir, she's a roasting here today. Alright, so I gotta use the used nails, of course. I don't buy nothing, so we use what I got here. So some of these nails come out of the boards that were on the deck, and some of the nails came out of the boards that I'm going to put on the deck. So I'm going to show you how to straighten them out. I'm sure you all know how to do this, because I did so many of these when I was a kid. Dad would bring stuff home, and I was elected to straighten the nails out, so that's what I did. Don't buy nothing if you can help it. Anyway, you can see the point maybe on there. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. See that nice sharp point? That's something that you got to get dull, so that when you put that into the new wood, or the old used wood that I'm going to be using it, you don't split the wood. Now, some of the nails I took out, I had to hammer out from one side because they were through the wood, so they've already got the point dull on them now from me hitting them with the hammer to get them out. So that's a good thing. Anyway, we'll straighten these out here. Not hard to do. Not hard to do. The old sweat is rolling pretty well here today. There, just like that. All straightened up. Just like brand new. Alright, we're going to cut the first board here that goes on for the step. And that's what happens when you forget to do the undercut first. Anyway, more kindling. One thing is for sure, I'm going to find out whether my shoulder is any better or not tomorrow morning after doing that. Alright, I know. So I'm hoping, and I think I measured this before, of course I got to redo it. So there's only 2 boards on the steps, but they're wider than these boards that I'm putting on. So I'm hoping that 3 of these boards will take up the same space. Yeah, so the 2 boards on the top are together are 10 and a quarter, and 3 of these smaller boards I'm putting on is 9 3/4. So I can just do a little bit of space in there to make it fit, I guess. All right. So we'll nail that fella in, and then I'll get back to you. All right. That's going to be good for today. I can walk on there now. There we go. A couple of little mistakes. If you can see it or not there, but the nail on the first board, the closest one to us here, kind of got out through on the bottom and didn't really catch anything. But anyway, that's all right. It's not going to go anywhere. And then there was one other one that kind of missed too, I think, somewhere. But anyway, I say I'm not a carpenter, so. Using old wood kind of is good because it kind of fits right in, and not like putting new wood like that on it and making it stand out. So the old wood kind of blends right in. So that's good. And there we go. That's going to be it for today. I'm going to throw all the tools in that trailer and back it back into the garage. And I'm going to get a drink of nice cold water out of my Rick's Outdoors Rosy cup, which is in the refrigerator, nice and cold. So I'll switch you around here for a second. Not that you'd really want to look at me, but anyway, you can kind of tell it's kind of warm out. The glasses are just covered in water from head to toe, and it's amazing that I could even see where I was nailing. Anyway, so my shoulder is going to let me know tomorrow whether it can saw wood or not. I could have used my mini electric saker saw, which would be an excellent tool to use for that kind of work. And anyway, stubborn I guess or stupid, one or the other. I did it by hand, so there you go. My father always said, let the saw do the work. So you don't force it, you just let the tool do the work. And of course the tool has to be sharp. So if it's a dull tool and you're forcing it, you're more likely going to get hurt somehow. So sharp tools and take your time. That's the key. So I think that's all I got to say for today. On Knowles, I don't know what I'm doing carpentry. That's one step done. I'll get to the other steps eventually, but I'm not going to show you all that because it's just the same as what I did on the top. That's just what I'm going to do. And maybe next year, if son has some time, we'll just replace everything there. And I got to get the weeds that are underneath there too. While I have the bottom boards off, I'll get at the weeds there. Get the hoe to them or something. You just can't see what I'm talking about, so I'll switch these around again. Oops. I'm not even looking at the camera properly to make it look like I'm looking at you. I need my eye exercise chart. Yeah, so the weeds in underneath there, once I get them other boards off, and that's not going to be until September, I think. And then I'll take the hoe to that in there and get all them weeds out of it. Anyway, there's another little video for today. I think that's probably going to be it until Sunday. We'll take another break, I think. All right, have a great day wherever you're at and whatever you're doing. Goodbye.